to my channel. My name is Gloria. For those who are new to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share the video with your friends. To the returning subscribers, it's nice to see you again. So I'm going to start with Happy New Year, since this is the first video that I'm actually going to put out. I had previously recorded 2 videos that didn't make it because I don't know, I guess I just wasn't happy with them. So Happy New Year, since this is the first video we're putting out this year. Mainly I just wanted to give a brief recap of my 2021. Last year was a good year for me. I was fine working. I had my son at the end of the year, and overall it was good. God was really good to us last year, and I don't have many complaints really. But one of the main things I did last year was I wanted to learn about finances. So last year I did a lot of research in the form of watching YouTube videos and reading about finances, budgeting, investing, saving, and all those kind of things. I haven't learned everything, but I do know that at least compared to where I was before last year and now, at least I know a little bit more about finances. Yeah, so 2022, I declared it a year of health. For me, I joined the gym earlier this year. Hopefully I can insert some pictures somewhere. So I joined the gym early this year, and it's been a month now, and it's been so difficult. I think this past month has just been me adjusting to going back to the gym and learning, relearning, or even finding out what I can do now. I mean, 5-6 years ago when I used to go to the gym, well, that was before I was married and had kids, and I was much younger. I had more strength, more energy. My fitness level was really good, and going to the gym wasn't such a hassle. We would go, would do the crazy workouts with my friends, and it would just go fine. But now, oh my gosh, like even just me building up my running pace or running speed, from when I started the first day I was at a 5.5, at least now I've come up to a 7.2 at the most. But then that's like in intervals of 2 minutes on and about a minute and 30 seconds off, and I keep interchanging at least until I do a full 30 minutes. It's so much harder now. My strength levels are low. Even my body is just different now that I've had 2 babies. My body's just completely different, and it's so much harder and heavier. I feel like I'm dragging myself all the time, but no lie, it's getting easier by the day. It's still quite hard, I won't lie, but it is getting easier by the day. I'm getting stronger, and I think now my son is into 4 months, so we've been doing exclusive breastfeeding, and I couldn't go on a diet just yet. This time with my son, it was quite difficult for my milk flow to come in, so I didn't want to disturb him. At first, when I tried to supplement with a bottle and what, he had really bad colic. So when I spoke to some of my cousins and my other mom friends, the number one thing they told me was breastfeeding is the only way that you're going to get rid of colic. And honestly, that has worked. So they just said, don't even worry about diets right now, just eat, make sure your son is fed, until you have to absolutely begin to supplement, which is now that I'll be going back to work and mat leave is over, so we'll have to start giving him a bottle. Yeah, I know I can express and leave a bottle at home, but I don't know if my helper can correctly rewarm the milk and all that, how to tell if it's gone bad. So I think for me the safest option is just to teach her how to make a bottle. Yeah, it's much easier for me because at least it can be made fresh every time, and even if they pour whatever's left over away, it's much better than giving a baby breast milk that hasn't been stored properly or reheated properly. At least it's just my own personal preference. Yeah, so in my year of health now in March, I feel I am ready to finally change my diet, and I feel like I'm a bit more mentally prepared this time to start my diet. It's difficult, but I think being away from home and at work helps a lot, because I mean, you're working, so you're going to stop and take a snack anytime you want. But at home, there's nothing much to do. The snacks are right there in the fridge. So I think changing my diet isn't going to will work out much better for me. I can carry a lunch box, and I think I can also refrain myself while I'm coming back home. Yeah. So back to the finances. I'm going to share a few tips on what I learned about finances. Finances, the biggest thing that you should do, number one, of course, when you get your money, or your finances, when you get your money, is number one, pray, of course. Number two, remove your tithe. And then number three, make a budget. And some of the channels that I follow on finances is, the number one channel that I follow is Clever Girl Finance. And well, everyone knows this. Budgeting is telling your money where to go so that you don't take your money any and everywhere. So the number one thing to do with your money is budget. And then you have to know where your budget is. You have to understand your finances. And if you don't make a budget, you'll never understand where your money goes. And sometimes that is the thing that we, especially young people of today, we don't really want to make a budget. We just know that I roughly spend this much on this, and the rest is for whatever I want. But no, a budget is not only for groceries. A budget is basically how you use your entire money. So your budget is for your groceries, your electricity, your bills, your gas bill for the week. You also can include your offering for church. You can include the money that you're going to save for random things like giving to relatives in case an emergency happens in the family. I mean, someone says no one plans to die, but if someone dies in the family, God forbid, and you have to quickly send money that way, I mean, you just have to have a stash, or at least a fund somewhere. And that little fund, that little stash should be included in your budget. So after you make your budget, make sure you include every single thing, even the money that you're going to spend on shopping. If you know you're buying shoes this month, and you know the shoes you want cost maybe 1,000, you have to include that 1,000 in your budget, so that when you know that you're spending 1,000 on shoes, you know that you're going to reduce something else, maybe like your gas bill. You're going to reduce something else by whatever the difference may be, Yeah. So the next point that I learned about finances is you have to have She Said, Bola in Clever Girl Finance. She said you have to have 5 accounts. I can't remember all of them clearly, but there's your checking account, your debit account, the account that you use for your day-to-day expenditure, your emergency fund, your savings account, the account that you have, your investment account, which is for example, let's say your kids or a holiday or university or whatever it is, and your pension account. Oh, I remembered all of them. And your pension account. So right now, what I did this year was I opened a savings account. So I have a savings, I have an investment account right now, and I do have my checking account. So I have 2 more accounts to open. I don't even know where I'm going to start because I only have one source of income. Yeah, so another thing that I'm learning this year especially is to get more streams of income. It's difficult. I can't even stress that enough. It's so difficult for me anyway. It's so difficult for me to just say, I'm going to now start doing this, because I already, number one, I have 2 kids, and I already have 2 kids come with a lot of bills. So between my husband and I, we are, I think, now adjusting our budget and our lives to two babies. And of course, the house we're living in is bigger, and our bills and everything is more. And I have a full-time helper, so I think we are still adjusting to our growing family. So yeah, the two accounts, I think this is the investment in children and the emergency fund rather, and the pension one. Those are the two that are left for me, I think. But I think I should have them down hopefully by June this year. I should have both of them down. Yeah, it's good to have your own personal pension fund. Yeah, especially if you live in Zambia. You have to have your own pension scheme down. Yes, the government has a pension scheme, but they are still sorting out pensioners from 2002, and I, we don't know how it's going to be in the next, I don't know, 20 years. How many years do I have to work according to the laws of Zambia? I have 35 more years to work, so I don't know how it's going to be the next 35 years, if I'll be able to just go and say I want my pension and they cash it in for me. If I find a line that is 35 years long, tough luck. Yeah. Oh yeah, my Facebook page. This year, the most interesting posts on my Facebook page have been about marriage. I feel like when people are newly married, perhaps up to about 7 years, they sort of expect us not to have major problems. Let me put it that way. And in major problems, I mean, they don't expect us to be complaining too much because we are sort of newly married. They think perhaps at this point we should be easily navigating these things, but I think it's so much harder for us because we are new at marriage. Marriage for me is sacrifice. You really have to sacrifice for your friend. That is the number one thing that I can say marriage has taught me. It's a lot of sacrifice. You die a lot for your partner, and you have to remember that your partner came into the marriage with their own dreams and their own goals, and they still want to achieve those things. So in the part of sacrifice, you won't both of you at the same time be gunning for your goals. You can't. It's just not possible. Sometimes if one of you wants to, let's say, not even wants to, let's say one of you gets a job offer across the world and the other one has a stable job where you are. For example, if I'm working currently in Zambia at the GRZ, and then my husband, who is a musician, gets a job offer, let's say in Europe or in the US, the sacrifice may have to be that I sort of put my job on hold and go with him to the US, or he rejects that offer, sacrifices so that we stay here. You understand? But that also depends on many other factors. But that's the main element of sacrifice. You can't both be gunning for your goals at the same time. One of you has to agree to lay low and allow your friend to thrive. So I think that's the biggest one, and that's where, especially we young ones, young married couples, I think that's where we stress a lot. Of course, there's issues of finances, but like I mentioned about finances, once you get the budget down and you're both committing to sticking to the budget, number one, meeting the budget, sticking to the budget, the budgeting and the finance chapter won't be such a hassle with you. So of course there's the gunning for goals, the sacrifice, finances, communication. I remember my pastor, my bishop, when we were getting married, he told us always remain friends no matter what. Yes, you're husband and wife, but don't let that title sort of deter your relationship. Always remain friends, because friends talk about everything. So for my husband and I, communication, I think it was only difficult in the first year. Afterwards, we both learned how to talk to each other, especially with uncomfortable conversations. But everyone, you have to find a way to communicate with each other. You can send an SMS, you can send a voice note, you can send a video, you can do whatever it is, but make sure that you are communicating with your partner, and you have to say exactly what you feel. Exactly what you feel. Don't even sugarcoat it. Don't do anything, but also say it in a loving and in the kindest way possible, because you can't just talk to your friend in a super mean way and expect them to respond with love and kindness. Hell no, they're not Jesus, so don't expect them to be Jesus. So what have I said? Sacrifice, budgeting, communication. These are the top 3 things that I think every young married couple may have to revisit from time to time. And if you need to, find a marriage counselor. These days, especially in Osaka, I've seen people are offering independent marriage counseling services, non-denominational. They are not Christians, they are not atheists, or whatever it is. They are just marriage counselors. So they will take you through the marriage counseling, which may be the communication and these things that I said, how to deal with friends and family members and all those things, depending on what your problems are, I can say. My sister-in-law said the thing about marriage is not 2 marriages are alike, and your problems are uniquely yours, which is absolutely true. For me, this line made so much sense to me. Even if myself, and like the example I gave on my Facebook page was, even if my sister and I are both Mrs. Zulu, so even if Mr. and Mrs. Zulu Jonathan are having similar problems to Mr. and Mrs. Zulu Lazarus, they won't be the exact same thing, because the 4 of us are completely different people, and the 2 of them have a completely different marriage compared to the 2 of us. So you may have some things that are similar in your marriage, but then many things will continue to be different in your marriage. So you have to find a way to deal with problems that are uniquely yours. Number 1, for me, always be kind to your partner. Be kind. You have to be friendly. Be kind. Be loving. Always be the first one who wants to be kind and be nice to your friend. It's something I had to learn for myself, but I remember I prayed about it a lot, like for God to just change my heart and teach me how to love, how to sacrifice, and how to love without expecting anything in return. And it just changed my complete focus and my complete outlook on marriage, on friendships, on everything. I just wanted to learn how to love in a bigger and more capacity building way. I just wanted to learn something absolutely new, and it's healed a lot of my own shortcomings, kinder to myself. It's nice. So if you're struggling with something, pray about it. That's what God is for. That is it. Pray and the Lord will come through. And what else? This year I wanted to start my businesses, and I feel like every time I come close, something just jump. But I am, if there were 10 steps, I think I'm like on step number 7 now. Since I know at 8, 9, and 10 need to be, I'm on like step number 7 now. So I am almost there. I'm hoping I can get it started. I can get them started before the end of the first quarter of the year, because I feel like I just really need to just get them started. No matter how small they are, I just want to get them started. So I am looking forward to starting my businesses. I've already done the plan, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I just want to start it. Yeah. But otherwise, for this year, this is it. And I'm just looking forward to what God is going to do. There's so many doors in my heart that I know are opening, and I'm just looking forward to what God is going to do. And there's nothing more I can ask for right now. But the thing is, God knows your needs even before you ask them. So He will bring to you, He will bring for you something that you need even before you ask for it. So this year we are trusting God. The theme at year is a grace for new beginnings, and I am just trusting God for a new beginning in everything. I want to know how to forgive more, how to love more, how to give more, and just how to be more of a better person for my own self and not for anyone else, because it's a new beginning. So I am looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to going back to work next week. I've been at home 3 months and whoosh, I'm tired. Yeah, so until next time, I will see you in my next video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and then you keep up to date with my videos. Okay.